me 1 minute to.
Can you see me? Hi, can y'all hear me? I don't know why you can't see me because I can see y'all. Okay, did y'all hear any of that? Welcome everybody tonight to our Stories of Hope. We are so excited to have you here. We all with soul love AC cream. So tonight we're going to talk about the magic that is in the AC cream. Anybody that's been with Soul longer than 5 minutes absolutely is obsessed with AC cream, and tonight we're going to learn why. And first, we're going to hear Becky McKnight tell us about Just Go Put AC Cream on It. Becky, take it away.
All right. I wrote this down because I'm kind of funny with my words and I get flustered. So I hope it doesn't seem too weird. Okay, so we use AC cream for everything in our home. My kids use it for itchy skin and everyday bruises. But we use it on the most burns. I have used it on burnt lips and it felt better as soon as it went on, but it took about 3 days for my lips to feel normal again. My husband travels frequently for his job and he got sunburned really badly the day before his departure. He used the After Sun skincare product that the company provided for him the next morning as they left, and he felt burns and pains the whole flight home. As soon as he got home, he showered to get that product off so he could apply the AC cream. Immediately, he felt relief, and within 2 days, the burn was about gone. He never leaves home without it now. It works so well that every time my kids have a pain or a boo-boo, sports injuries, burns, itchy skin, or anything they seem to complain about, I tell them to go put AC cream on it, and it always works. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Brittany. And we have a real life. So thank you so much. And Brittany is going to talk to us about It's a Works for Everything cream. And Brittany, would you like to share that with us now?
Actually, we're ready for the presentation, so we're going to go ahead and do that.
Okay, I'm sorry. Back to Tiffany. Okay. So Tiffany tonight is going to talk to us and teach us all about what are adaptogens.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Good. I love this subject. So about 6 years ago, I finished my certification as a master herbalist and started to learn about adaptogens, which is what led me to Soul. And so I love talking about this subject. So you can go ahead and switch the slide and we'll dive in and talk about what exactly are adaptogens. So they are also known as adaptogenic herbs, but basically they're non-toxic plants that help our body naturally adapt to stress and maintain homeostasis or balance in the body. So we're in perfect health when we're in balance, right? And they do this by helping our body resist stressors. And those stressors can be physical, chemical, or biological. And a lot of these herbs have been used for centuries in both Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine practices. And what I think is really cool, especially about Chinese medicine, is that there's this belief that your emotions and your physical health are intimately connected. And it's this integrated mind-body approach to health and healing that operates in this really dynamic loop where emotions and impact your health of the body and vice versa. So what's really amazing about adaptogens is that they affect both the mind and the body and bring both into balance. All right, you can click to the next one. So in order for an herb to be classified as an adaptogen, it has to be non-toxic to the body and offer widespread support, but also, like I mentioned before, bring that body back into equilibrium or balance, okay? So they have to be safe for daily use, have a wide variety of medicinal plant components, balance the functions of the mind and body, help with stamina, and even strengthen the immune system. And I want to really point out what I really like about this is safe for daily use, because I frequently have clients ask me all the time, like, I'm taking these medications or I'm doing this or I'm doing that. Are you sure this is safe for daily use? And I can say beyond a reasonable doubt, yes, this is safe for daily use, but that also means it's safe for children. It's safe for women who are pregnant and nursing. They're safe for us. So I'm totally confident in giving these herbs to my kids, right?
Yeah.
So adaptogens, like I said, kind of specifically support your adrenals, which are the glands that manage your hormone response to stress and help you cope with things like anxiety and fatigue and that sort of thing. And they also, what's really interesting is work with your specific needs and kind of adapt their function to your body's needs. So I like to say that they're almost like little doctors that come into your body and figure out what's out of balance and fix it, right? So some of and they have so many benefits, but some of them, they're reducing the stress in the body, which we know stress is kind of at the root cause of all disease. It can improve your resilience and your ability to recover, like after you've been sick, or even like after a gym where you've like worked out really hard, it helps your muscles recover from that, and can also customize these benefits based on your particular given needs, right? So sometimes people will ask, maybe if I have low functioning thyroid, like hormone issues, or high functioning hormone issues, why would you still give me maca, right? Which we're going to talk about, because it doesn't matter if it's high or low, it's going to balance it out, which is pretty cool. Okay, you can go to the next slide. One of the things I always like to say is that there's no such thing as a magic pill, but if there were, it would probably contain an adaptogen. So let's talk a little bit about how adaptogens actually work. So they help your body through what's called the HPA axis, and they stabilize your existing cortisol levels and regulate their production. So when you wake up in the morning, your cortisol should be higher and it should be lower at night, right? But sometimes our cortisol, our stress hormone, is all over the place, okay? So essentially, it helps teach your body how to reach balance or equilibrium. So those stress hormones are high when they're supposed to be, lower when they're supposed to be. But what's interesting is it doesn't take away the stress response. Your body actually needs that, right? But it acts on what's called a cortisol curve, which is what you're seeing here. And it's how your cortisol naturally fluctuates throughout the day. And it helps it recalibrate and support both the mind and the body in reducing stress. So for example, if your body is really revved up, and you might have an adaptogen herb that will kind of bring it down and calm that cortisol, right? But if it's really low and depleted, a different blend can help bring your energy back up. And so some of the greatest power is that they don't impact just one organ. They have the ability, like I said, like those little doctors to come in and figure out which organ or which system is out of balance and balance it up. And I think that that is really, really fascinating and amazing how they work, because they have such a broad range of natural functionalities.
Yeah, that's so cool. You know, I've learned that a lot.
Thank you so much, Tiffany. Every time I hear Tiffany talk about adaptogens, it's like the first time I've ever heard it. I love learning about adaptogens from Tiffany. So thank you so much. Now we are going to go to Brittany and look at this adorable picture. And Brittany is going to talk about AC cream, and she said it's a works for everything cream. So can we hear from Brittany now?
The fact we're having technical difficulties.
Is it Monday? Must be Monday.
Okay, all right, so that's what I felt about these in our house. And it does work for everything. I started using AC cream, I think it was one of the first things that I bought over 5 years ago. And started just using it as a hand and face cream. And the way it worked for that, and then found out that there was a list of over 100 uses for it. And over the years, used it for multiple different things. One of them, when we were doing rounds of IVF and having to put shots in my stomach and in my legs and everything, having constant bruising and soreness from that, gave it a lot of relief, putting the AC cream on those different spots. My husband uses it when he works in California for dryness and for on his legs and for like taping, all of that. And then another use I found for it was when I was nursing and having issues with nipples and vaginal stuff, and AC cream was the only thing that I found relief for with it. And then started using it on myself for diaper for many different baby powder right now and tried all of them, and none of them seemed to work for it. When you have a diaper rash, that AC cream is the only thing still to this day that will clear it up within 12 hours or so. And we use it all the time, and then we kind of there's great in our household. We always wanted to keep it in the summertime on vacation, right? You always have to better if it's and then another use we have for it is there, either for myself or for my son, if he's fucked up, like that can come up a lot faster. And the other thing is that it's 3 ounces. So you take it right on the flight where most lotions, other stuff we have, we have to put your in a bag, or not put it away. We don't want to bring anything over the 3 ounce limit. But yeah, about it for me. There, I definitely found green was for it than the 101.
Thank you so much. That is fantastic. Where was the cream 20 years ago when I needed it for breastfeeding? Right. Okay, tonight, Greg is going to join us. Thank you so much, Brittany. That was great. Greg's going to join us. And Greg, we want to hear from you about one of our favorite products, the AC Cream, and why this is such a unique and amazing product for Soul Natural. So could you please share that with us?
You bet, Tammy. And hello, everybody. It's good to be with you tonight. I apologize for always doing my staring and sharing, but I have some slides from a training that we used when we launched the cream. A lot of times the first thing someone asks is, what does the AC stand for? Flex AC. And is it all just about flexibility? And, you know, my answers are, well, one of them might be a little weird. The other hopefully isn't. AC stands for Arnica and Calendula. That is the core of the cream, but there is much more in this formula, and that's what makes it so versatile. But as to the part of the name Flex, Soul Flex, yes, I actually do think flexibility helps us in virtually every kind of health imbalance. That's my weird take. I think that so much of evidence or symptoms that we have imbalances or problems, they almost always bring some rigidness, some stuckness, some restraint and restriction. And when we can restore flexibility, both inside and out, things can fix and things can improve. So that's my little two cents on the name Flex AC. But let me tell you just a little bit about it. There are too many ingredients to go over tonight. So I want to tell you about the C from Flex AC, the calendula. I think a lot of people, I still think a small percentage of society knows what arnica is, and it's such a great healer. Many fewer know what calendula is, but calendula is quite amazing. It is in my opinion, is a royalty of healing plants, and people do drink, calendula teas. We use an extract that is topical. It's part of the cream, but I'm going to just stare for a quick second and give you a few power facts about calendula. First of all, it is this a marigold-looking flower that it comes from. It is anti-inflammatory. So it in itself, one of the first things it does is help take down inflammation. It is antimicrobial. So what that means is bacteria, virus, fungus, all of those are inhibited by calendula. So you can see why that's such a great one topically as well. It is also an immunostimulant, and it does it in a fairly particular way, enhances our immunity, which is why it's such a good healer. It also creates new circulation. When we can get circulation and new blood vessels, we can get nutrition to cells, we can heal things, and we can also eliminate things that we need to get rid of, that we need to get out of us that are in us. So calendula is actually one of its secret powers, if you want to say it that way, is that it does actually stimulate, it's angiogenetic and stimulates new blood vessel development. On the comment about immunity and calendula in this Soulflex AC, one of the things that it stimulates is this is from a scientific journal about 10 years, a little over 10 years ago. It stimulates the proliferation and the migration of fibroblasts. So more of them are created, and there's better movement. They're able to go where they're needed. Why do we care? Because fibroblasts create structure and repair of collagen. So yes, Soulflex AC is a huge partner for collagen. In fact, calendula is sort of folklorically referred to as nature's stitches. So quite interesting. And this is the reason for it. It is a great wound healer. I mentioned that the part about collagen repair and building, but also this part about angiogenesis, blood vessels proliferating. What this does is it leads to more blood flow. And when we get more blood flow, all the good things can happen. More nutrients can happen. Our body's defenses can operate. Our body's trash patrol can happen. And so calendula, it has all these various components, that through a few different ways help it become such a great rebuilder, rejuvenator, healer, repairer, et cetera, et cetera. One of the things that is studied is reforming skin cells. In other words, helping the body repair and create new cells, repair wounds. I think that anytime we help the body repair wounds, we also are going to help the body's natural rebuilding and recirculating, recycling. That's not even a great way of putting it, is it? Rejuvenation of skin cells. We build new ones. We build all the cells new. And if we can improve what the body has to use, we can improve ourselves, even from what we would view as chronic situations from many, many times. I mean, I have some personal stories I will tell you using our Soul Essentials and AC to take out large skin spots or moles. I did it just as an experiment, honestly, when we launched it. I had one on my chest that I'd had for a long time, and it was a pretty big one. I have pictures, not going to show them to you tonight, just because who really wants to see them? But I will tell you, probably 1/2 inch long, one of those type of moles, brown, that protrudes out, totally gone now. There's zero evidence that it was ever there. This was a process of weeks with me applying AC and also our Balance essential oil. So in one of the studies, again, about this time, a little over 10 years ago on calendula, they simply took half the group and applied calendula and the other half were control. They got nothing. The wound in 8 days was 90% closed when people used calendula. The people who did not, it was only 51% closed. So this article said calendula is a potent wound healer. Okay, well, if it's a potent wound healer, how about helping our skin renew? Absolutely the same kind of a thing. Next point, it's a burn healer. Calendula, because it's an amazing antioxidant, it both protects and helps the body use the mechanisms the body has in place using cholesterol to help oxidation and healing from burns. So calendula is a big part of why when we talk about Flex AC, oh, it's this great sunburn, one of its uses. Part of the reason is the calendula. I hope that's been useful. Those are just a few points. There are so many other key ingredients, and a lot of them unique to this cream, like olive leaf, like witch hazel, like St. John's wort, which is an exceptional topical healer. And all of them together make the cream so amazing. But hopefully tonight we can understand a little bit more why the C in AC, calendula, gets highlighted in the title of the product itself.
Well, thank you so much. And again, my mind is blown because who knew that it was going to also help us make more collagen, which means I'll have to buy more, Greg, and lather all over my face to undo this damage. Okay, now we have seen how amazing these products are, but what about our facilities? Greg, can you tell us a little bit about the amazing manufacturing facility? We got to see it in October, and if anybody is in Utah, you guys have to see it. But Greg, can you tell us a little bit more about why it's amazing?
You bet. And yeah, it's Blake is the vice president of supply chain. So I'm chuckling. Blake's facility, yes, he has been and continues to direct all of that operation, from the sourcing of raw materials and all the quality checks that we employ, to actually one by one building clean rooms. He's got a number of clean rooms, or rooms in which you can manufacture. They are built to a pharmaceutical standard. In fact, one of the specialists who operates our encapsulating machine at the facility came from a pharmaceutical. And her comment during the interview was, this is nicer than where I was working at the pharmaceutical. The quality of, and it even comes down to what the walls are made out of. There are different ways you can create a clean room. And so all of it is important, because over time is where the difference is shown when you when you invest in manufacturing. So the value, there's immense value. We had worked with one partner since the founding of Soul, who is an exceptional researcher, and we continue to consult with him. But over time, and especially over the last couple of years, we brought all of our manufacturing in-house. There are only a couple of things, the essential oils, which don't need to be manufactured in-house, and our Soul Megas, which are manufactured in a soft gel, a vegetarian soft gel. This process is not one that it takes a lot of space and expertise, and one that we use the same partners since the founding of the company for that. But all the rest of that is manufactured in Blake's facility. So why do I mention that? Because we've had all sorts of trial in raw material interruptions in these last few years through the pandemic and coming out of it. Those remain. We've also had a really scary level of inflation in this last year and a half, the result of decisions that have been made earlier on outside of our control by various governments. And so the upshot of that is that having a facility where we control manufacturing is nowhere a more evident blessing to us than through a period like this, because we, in having to adjust our prices a year ago for inflation, adjust them less than half of all the I'm not even talking about the high adjustments that you see. I'm talking about the average, the national average is more than double what we did. That is, I think, reason enough to control your own manufacturing. Secondly, you control the quality, and we're able to not worry about some of the supply interruptions and whether the quality is being compromised in order to meet deadlines. And finally, in all of this time of interruption, we only had one product that was on back order. As I mentioned, it was the Soul Megas, which we cannot control. That one is the one that's manufactured in another facility, and they were so backlogged because of all these global issues that we ended up having a back order. However, all the rest of our products, amazingly, through all of this period, were not back ordered even once. So those are some great values of controlling our own manufacturing and having someone like Blake, who I've known for more than 30 years, someone who has immense connection and expertise and integrity, is the reason that we're able to talk about this great value. All right, Tammy, back to you.
Yeah, and I just want to say that seeing it for myself and even taking my husband along with me, seeing the integrity just made me trust Soul even more, if that was even possible. So for those of us that love Soul so much that now we have turned our love of it into sharing it with others, Valerie Bledsoe is talk to us about how that's really benefited and helped value her brick and mortar business for the better. Valerie, take it away, my friend.
Absolutely. So obviously now I work from home, but when Soul first hit the market, when we first got, many of you know my story of signing up on the day that Soul first was available to sign up. I very quickly brought the product line into my store. And at that point I'd had the brick and mortar for 18 years. People knew my attention to quality, and it was uppermost. And this, no doubt, matched every bit of what I wanted for quality, as Greg so poignantly referred to a little bit ago. I very quickly realized that with the adaptogens in every one of our formulas, that I was able to get more results with using less product than what I'd been using in the past. And I'd always told my clients for years that anytime I found something that was better, I would bring it in. Or if I saw a company was no longer, being true to what it said, I would drop it. And I adhered to that. But even more exciting, when I found formulas that were getting better results, people were staying on the programs, they were following through because they felt better mentally and emotionally as well with getting those physical results. It was just a win. Well, thirdly, it was also a very easy system for me to teach my employees. This system of the 4 different categories with calm, lift, balance, and clarify. Those colors, I could teach it very easily, and they could very quickly understand it and be able to help clients when I wasn't there to be able to address those. I always, and I taught my employees to always offer the membership to those clients and customers. We would get them set up, and when it came time to replace their product, we would have them come in a week early and teach them how to order with the account we'd set up so that they were able to even take their health further into their own hands. And finally, what I saw over the course of those years with the product in the shop, I think it was 8 years before I moved my business home, but it was such a successful product line that those few products compared to the others I had on the shelves very quickly started taking up more and more space, because the other products, we simply weren't moving and selling as much because the customers were coming in having heard about the Soul Naturals products, those formulas. That's what they wanted. They did not want those other products. Even when I was marking them down, running inventory, seeing they weren't selling, marking some of them down, like to 50 cents to get out the door. They wanted Soul's products because they knew the results they were going to get, and they literally sold themselves because of the results and the word of mouth. So it was such a no-brainer, and the way that it leveled up my business, and I was better able to take care of my clients and also simplify the approach so that they can understand even more how to take care of themselves. So yes, Soul definitely changed my brick and mortar business for the better, and I would highly recommend it to any practitioner for bringing it in and putting it on their shelf.
Such good information. Thank you so much. I love the fact that it really does put their health in their hands, and we just guide them. Okay, we always are looking for your stories. So if you have a soul story, if you have an amazing testimonial, please share it with us. There is someone that can benefit. It is valuable. So reach out to us, share it with us if you don't mind. We would love to hear from you so that others can benefit from how amazing Soul is. Also, if you would like to get a 15-minute reminder of our presentation on Monday nights, you can text HOPE to the number below. And also make sure that on Facebook, you've joined Stories of Hope. That way you can get all of these testimonials, you can get all of these presentations, and you don't miss a thing and can be one of those that puts their health in their own hands. So thank you all for being with us tonight. So sorry about my video. Please join us next Monday. Thank you, everybody, and good night.